Hello, everybody. Welcome to Within the Cauldron, where secrets and mysteries lies within. Tonight is very dear to my heart because I got some friends here with me, with my cousin Nico, and we're going to talk about the light of being a goth. And there's some questions that they're going to answer, and probably some more that they want to add. But we're trying to get a positive aspect on what a goth is. Okay, because I know a lot of people is like, ooh, the goth, but you know what? They're just like you and me. So, further ado, here's my cousin Nick.
Hi,
Hey,
guys.
Nico. So, are you ready for tonight?
Absolutely.
I am too. I'm so excited. Okay, so our friend Natalie from the UK.
Hello.
Hi, Nat.
Hi.
Hi, friend James.
Good evening. How you doing?
And last but not least, our friend Danielle. Welcome, guys. Hi. I was so excited. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, so I am so glad that you have came forward and say yes, you would join me and my cousin Nico. So the first question, we're going to get right to it, is how important is black clothing to your goth identity? Because a lot of people sees goth in black clothing. Why is that? And was it identity or what? Anybody can answer.
Yeah. Anybody else wanted to start first?
For me, I don't think it's a big deal kind of thing. Like for me, obviously, I wear a lot of black, but for the community, I don't think it is, because there is like styles like white goth where they wear entirely white outfits and that, whereas, and then we're discussing like there's pastel goths that wear a lot more bright colours, and there's cyber goths that wear neon and that. So although a lot of them still wear black with that, but I don't think it's as big.
Same, I'd agree. When it comes to black, it's obviously very important. I feel like it's kind of like the basis. Like when it comes to looking fashion wise, it would serve as like the basis, and then you can add in other colors. It doesn't have to be just straight black, because there are different subsets in the goth community. Kawaii, cyber goth, trad. Trad is, of course, more and more black on that.
Cool. How about you, Danielle?
I've actually heard lots of very interesting theories about this. Like, I've heard everything from basically people using it as a way to express like their deeper, darker, more passionate emotions that they can't typically speak about. And then I've also heard some people saying that there's a historical basis, that it has to do with like the Victorian era and Queen Victoria wearing all black and never stopping wearing black after Albert died. So I don't know if that's genuinely true, but like I've heard a lot about it. And I still think to this day there's no straightforward answer, but there's like lots of different colors that goths will actually incorporate. And it's very interesting. Like Natalie said, like there's cyberpunks that wear like neon and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you've got some like, white goths. They wear all white. So I guess it just really depends on like the particular sub style, I'd say.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that the all black dress is very stereotypical and very much like a cornerstone of the goth community, but there's so many different subcultures now that have embraced accessory colors or entirely different color palettes.
Hmm.
But it
Yeah,
really
I think
started in
it's the same
this.
thing as being a witch. We wear black because it's a unity of colors, and stuff. And of course, we don't think nothing of it. So,
Well, and
but
a lot
we
of
always ask the same
witches,
thing too.
yeah, a lot of witches do fall into the goth culture.
Hmm. Yeah, they do. They really do. Very
Yeah,
good.
I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not more into the trad. Like, I'm more emo leaning. And
Mm.
here's the thing about emo is like, of course, you got like the gatekeeper goths who be like, oh, emo is not goth. And it kind of is. I think it
Mhm.
kind of falls into that category, falls under the umbrella, if you will, for all of it.
Yeah, I was an
Yes.
emo kid growing up too, so like absolutely, like
Yeah.
it very much is now within the community, like under the overarch like alt punk goth community.
Yeah, it is. Um, are we ready for the next question, guys?
Sure.
Which goth artists do you consider to be essential or integral to the community?
Yes, music. Music is one of my passions. So I'd probably go Typo Negative, Susie and the Banshees, Switchblade Symphony. If we were going to do just like, just straight goth music. But of course, also, as I mentioned earlier, emo. And I'm really into like shoegaze, post punk,
Mhm.
which all kind of, it's all part of it.
Cool. How about you, Natalie? What kind of music
Uh,
do you like?
I was letting someone else chime in some of these,
That's
but
I know
uh,
there's so many.
yeah, a lot of those bands, like London After Midnight, The Cure. I think that's it. I think you've rhymed off a lot.
And how about you, Daniel?
I think it was Sisters of Mercy. I made my introduction to like goth music. And like they definitely made me want to check out more goth bands for sure. Like before, I wasn't really exposed to like genuinely goth music. Like everything for me was always, emo because, I'm in the Midwestern US, homeland of emo, birthplace of it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to like get away from that. Not that I would want to. I actually do listen to like some things that are goth adjacent, like a lot of symphonic metal. Like that's really where my heart lies. With bands like Within Temptation and such. We Are Fallen. But just stuff that like carries that goth influence has always attracted me. So like
Yeah,
I've been trying to look more into like genuinely goth bands as well, just so you know. It's like I know the history of it and I have that respect for it. And then I also enjoy dark wave as well. No specific artist I want to say, but like I've just listened to like playlists of it and really enjoy it.
Mhm.
I love goth music. I can listen to that all day. Um, well, besides witchy music too, like that too. Those are two of my favorites. So, um,
Oh yeah,
I think Laguna Coil is
look at a
one of
quote.
my yeah, it's one of my best bands that I like. Within Temptation, Peter Steele from Typo Negative.
Mhm.
Um, I do miss, you know, listen to them. Um, so yeah. How about you, Nick? What's your goth go to?
So I also speak German. So to preface that, I listen to some German Gothica music. So like which is like a German industrial techno. Um, and then like within Temptation, like the dark, haunting, romanticized female vocals, and even getting into like some weird stuff like Windrose. If you haven't heard of Windrose, they are dwarven metal. So
Okay.
like a weird intersection between D&D, like kind of they dress up similar to Guar, but they're in dwarves, like not little people, but in the like fantasy type of dwarf. And they have some of the most hilarious songs. My favorite is "Diggy Diggy Hole," which is the dwarves' power chant. It's ridiculous and adorable, and I love them.
Okay, I absolutely love that. Being a D&D nerd and also loving metal as well. I'm gonna have to look that up. What did you say the name was again?
The band is called Wind Rose, and
Wind Rose.
yep,
Okay.
Wind Rose, like the flower, and
Okay.
and then some more modern stuff like the Who. The Who's absolutely amazing.
The Who?
Yep.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so my sister Sherry from the UK, Evanescence. Yes.
Oh God.
Oh,
Oh, my high
Evanescence.
school.
Mhm.
yeah.
My Flyleaf, Evanescence, the Pink Spiders. Oh my God.
We saw them. Amy Lee is just, she's amazing in concert. Okay, so the next question will be, what is your favorite goth subgenre? Like post, punk, dark wave, gothic rock?
Oh, indeed. Post-punk and shoegaze, as well as a lot of like dream pop where you got like churches and Tamarind. For the shoegaze part, I've been checking out this more recent band lately called Slow Waves that are really good, and Wisp, which has more of a Deftones vibe.
Mhm.
And yeah, some post-punk bands like Cloud Nothings is another band I've been listening to a lot lately. So,
Awesome. Awesome. Anyone else?
I've got an unusual one. Steampunk.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Like they've
Steampunk
got
is
kind of
pretty cool.
bands like Abney Park and just the attire as well. And that it kind of goes into like the Victorian goth, but it's kind of more
Yeah.
vintage and kind
Mhm.
of all the cogs and almost
love
like a
that.
sci-fi, but like in the past, and that's quite interesting.
I love steampunk.
Now
It's
see,
uh,
I'm gonna go with the intersection between our witchy goths and the occult goths, like Chelsea Wolfe, Moon and the Night Spirit, Wardruna, uh, and the like feral swamp goths.
hmm.
They're like super dark bone jewelries, like chains, look like they crawled out of the forest and they might take you back with them. Gorgeous.
And how about you, Danny?
You know, like I completely forgot about steampunk until Natalie mentioned it, and I feel absolutely ashamed of myself. But I'm gonna have to say like the same thing.
I love it. I love dressing up in steampunk. It's, I don't know, makes me just feel good. So,
Oh, my husband's like absolutely like Freddie Mercury era goth. Like the leather, the like weird like adult store accessories on like the harnesses and solid black leather on black on black.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
speaking of the Victorian goth thing, yeah, I was going to say that's like one of my favorite styles when I get dressed up.
Aesthetically, absolutely.
Yes.
Like I love a good Victorian goth.
Yes.
And what I want to see more from the Victorian goth community, I want to see more men in vest corsets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, I know another honorable mention. Death Rock.
What's that? Death
Ooh.
rock.
Huh?
Yes.
Who would be considered death rock?
I can't think of a particular example at the moment, but I'll have to look.
Ooh,
But it was just something that came to
45
mind out of the
Grave.
blue.
45 Grave and Specimen.
Specimen, definitely, for sure.
Uh,
I heard of them.
Had to make me think there for a second.
Good. You need to think more. Okay, we're ready for the next question.
Ooh. How do you feel about the portrayal of goths in popular media?
I'll let
Anybody
someone
wanna
else
start?
start. I'll let someone else start this time.
I think it's been quite good in that. Like and recently in that, because like can't remember. I don't watch soaps. I think it was Coronation Street or something. They had a goth character in it, and they covered the Sophie Lancaster case and that kind of storyline. So like that was quite good. Like my parents are not watching it and that, and like their reactions to that's happening. I'm like, yeah, that's what happens, kind of thing. But like looking different, and even some of the kind of the Joker ones and that, like the IT crowd and that, where it's kind of jokey and portrayal and kind of overdone and that. It's still quite humorous in that, like you can take the joke off it, kind of thing. It's not done in a kind of like an evil way, kind of thing.
Cool. Cool. Anyone else?
I'd say that
Well,
like growing up like here in the US, I feel like, well, me like being a 2000s child and stuff, like I feel like goth definitely got like a very bad representation. Like the script was like completely flipped,
Yeah.
where you would see lots of goths being portrayed as like these very mean
Dark,
characters
moody.
that just have like no personality other than being mean. But then as I get older, I notice that goth kind of seems a little bit more invisible almost. Like it's nothing that anyone really talks about aside from like it just being more of like a fetish type thing, or more so it's just like a joke. Like it's just like
It's
not good.
we don't have as vibrant of a goth community as like in the UK, where
Yes.
we don't have goth nightclubs and things like that, where there are people that are goths that go about their life, but it's not the culture is much different here.
yeah.
Definitely.
I think probably the closest thing we have is in New York City. There's a vampire club / goth, like
There's
that's
one
like
in
underground.
Florida too. Florida has a down in New Orleans. They have vampire clubs.
Yes, yes. Oh, yeah, most definitely. Yeah, they do. I remember somebody saying that.
But like here in my town, we have exactly one nightclub, which also happens to be the gay bar. And but they do rave nights, and so you get a bunch of the cyber goths going down, and they'll go jam out with everybody, and it's a great time.
I do
I live
notice that
in
like
the.
sorry.
Sorry, you go ahead.
So like I noticed that there is like this one organization, I think they're called Goth Barge, and they seem to host some things just north of me up in Wisconsin and Milwaukee. And I've been wanting to check out some of their stuff. Like there's definitely some pages just like theirs that tried to revive it, and I want to look more into that kind of stuff for sure.
I would too. Where you at, Danny?
I guess you could
Just a
say I'm
state.
kind of sort of near Chicago, just for reference.
Oh, well, you're not that far from me then. So, hey, we might have to have a girlfriend night. That's only like a half a day from me. So, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, good road trip.
How about you, James?
Well, I live in the rural South, North Carolina. So, unfortunately, the community is not as strong here as I would like it is in other states. There's not really, at least specifically where I live at, there's not a goth club. Like the closest one would be like the Wicked Witch in Raleigh, which is like a couple hours from where I stay at. But there are a couple clubs around here that do a goth night occasionally, which I go to. But again, I'm in the rural South, and it's just it tends to be very judgmental down here
Yeah.
sometimes, depending on where
Oh,
you're
yeah.
at.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is for sure. Um, What is the most positive aspect of being part of the goth community? Because everybody thinks, oh, they think negative, but what's a positive?
A sense of belonging
Mhm.
is one of them. Is one of them.
Yeah, I'd say the community, self expression, and it being able to express your love for the beauty of the dark side of things.
Yes, seeing beauty in the darkness.
Oh, I
Because I'm
love
an
it.
Yeah, like
I
one of
avid
love
the
horror movie
yeah.
fan, lover of cemeteries. Like, you want to take me on a first date? Let's go scroll through the cemetery and have a picnic. Like, absolutely.
it. That was one of our dates for my husband and I when we was younger. Cemetery. It's it's awesome.
Hmm.
If you haven't done it, gotta do it.
I am at the cemetery at least once a week, every week. It's like my little getaway from people, you know.
Yeah.
And in my town here, there's this really beautiful cemetery here. It was established in 1852,
Ooh.
and it's a garden type cemetery. So, that means all the graves are laid out randomly amongst nature, beautiful trees and whatnot, compared to a lawn type cemetery where it's all laid out. But that's a whole other thing in regards to cemeteries.
Mhm.
Cool. How about you, ladies? What's the most positive aspect you would like to tell the community about God?
I think the friendliness, which kind of
Mhm.
goes into yours too. Like I was just saying there, like online, going into other groups and that, like people will start being quite negative or like picking out things like what aren't even mentioned, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like recently, actually posted something online, and I was like, I don't know if this is like really bad, kind of thing, and people were like saying, like, yeah, just change up this kind of thing, and like everyone was just so friendly, kind of thing. Basically, it was just basically I posted on Reddit about shoelaces,
Mhm.
and
Oh yeah.
community was amazing, like so much positivity. Whereas like I've posted about things like I'm a geek as well, so like I've posted about D&D or gaming and that, and like all the negativity you get compared to in the golf community, just
Mhm.
posting something really simple. So it's definitely like a lot friendlier than a lot of people kind of assume.
And for our viewers that may not know, there's a thing called lace code, which was started by the punks
Yeah.
in the 60s and 70s. Um, and I would recommend, especially if you wear combat boots or demonias, anything along those like that, look up lace code. It is not dead, and it may save you from getting uh, mistaken for something you were not.
Yeah, because that's
Cool.
what we're discussing. Because I've got red laces on,
Oh yeah.
which, yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
But because I'm going with like a kind of starting to kind of change my style into more like vampire goth, I'm going with black and
Mm.
red. So then
Mhm.
it wasn't until someone mentioned that I was like, oh, I should actually check and make sure this is a thing. Whereas no, it's maybe not a big as thing in Scotland as it is in the
Here in the
US.
U.S.,
But
it's very much alive. Unfortunately, well, for better or worse.
yeah, like on all the responses, that's a bit kind of mixed and that, but is kind
Yeah.
of
So I
Cool.
think there's a resurgence in the lace code, especially with the newer, like, overarching community that, with the political climate and stuff, they've re-resurrected the lace code, and the anti-fascist movement and things like that are very much active now.
CODE. Is that it?
Yeah,
Lace
lace
code.
code. Yep, yep. And it's like there's specific colors that denote like a cab, or that like somebody may be a white supremacist. Like, if I remember right, purple or lavender or pink is that you're a part of the LGBT community. Uh,
Yes.
Hmm,
so I have purple laces on mine.
that's
Uh,
cool.
but if you're going to, if you're not already in the community and you are looking to get into the community, it's definitely something to educate yourself on, as well as weirdly like hanky code, which was a thing from the gay community where you could flag different preferences, but there's now an entirely different code for like the LGBT community and like who's safe to be around,
Hmm.
as well as also the spicy communities with the BDSM and the like, where they also still use that code. Same with
Cool.
carabiners, and apparently which side you wear a carabiner on denotes things as well.
Huh.
Interesting. Very
That I
interesting.
didn't know.
Ah,
It stems
I'm
out of
learning.
the butch community with lesbians when they would wear carabiners, depending on which side you carry on, denotes your preferences as a active or submissive participant.
Neat. I wear my carabiner on my left side. That's funny. I never gave it much thought, so that's kind of cool.
I didn't think about it either till one of my friends came up to me and was like, "Hey, you're a bottom," and I was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "You're carabiner," and I was like, "Excuse you, you can't just read me like that."
Oh wow. Oh wow. How about you, Danny?
I'm gonna need a refresher on the question. What was the question again?
Yeah, sure, sure. Um, what kind of positive aspects do you want to tell everybody about the goth community?
I definitely feel that like something that I learned from like being part of the community is not to be so afraid of myself and to learn to explore parts of myself that I might be afraid of or might not like.
Mhm.
I was never really, I guess, brought up in an environment where, like it was okay to be, like, and to go into graveyards and stuff like that. We're just fascinated with death or like anything dark, like horror, like just nothing like that. And then also just like music that was like more emotional. It was just like out of the question in the environment that I grew up in. So like when I saw that, like there's like this whole community of people who are interested in the same things I'm into, and they're, like just partaking of the same things that I would like to partake of. Like I'm just like, oh, okay, maybe I actually do belong here. Maybe I'm not so weird. Maybe it's not like out of the question to gravitate towards these things, and I'm just actually not alone. I don't have to be scared anymore. Like the community is just an absolutely beautiful place. Like I'll never forget the first time that I went to a goth convention in New Jersey. And, like
Yeah,
I
goth
thought, like I would have
community.
to dress a certain way. I would have to like listen to a certain kind of music or just like act a certain way, be a certain age. But there were people of like all ages, very diverse backgrounds. And it just made me realize that, like maybe it's like not as deep as people think, where like you have to be this and that so much. But, like there's a little bit of something for everyone in the goth community. Like it's not as exclusive as people think it is.
Indeed, it is a very welcoming and opening community to just about almost anybody, except for assholes.
Yep.
Don't.
I mean,
But
true story.
yeah, very. We might appear a little scary on the outside, but in the inside, some of us are pink and fluffy.
Mhm.
And yeah, we just open. Receive everybody with open arms here. And the whole thing about that. Now go back to the date keeping thing. We don't we don't claim gatekeepers. They can ruin the whole thing for everybody. So
Mhm.
Cool. Well, Nick, next question, then we go on a break.
Ooh, this is a good question. Have you ever faced discrimination or prejudice because of your appearance? Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, definitely, especially where I live at, like I already said, I live in the South. So, yeah, it's not quite progressive down here just yet. It's gotten better, but we're not quite there yet. And yeah, I get looks sometimes.
Oh yeah, I was assaulted in the grocery store, specifically in the soup aisle, by a little old church lady who took offense to how I was dressed and my occult jewelry and tried to exorcise the demons of homosexuality and witchcraft from me. And she splashed me with holy water.
I remember you telling me about that.
Man.
People.
And I was like, I'm shopping for soup. Like, can I'm grocery shopping. Like, leave me the hell alone.
Yes. Very much so. How about you, Danny?
Yeah, I would definitely say some people have been acting a certain way towards me for sure. Like, especially like when I was in high school, even out of it, it's just like I've gotten, people saying, like, you're so sweet. How could you be into this or that? Or like, why are you dressing that way? You're not like that. Or I've gotten, people saying that like there's certain things that I can't be into, or I can't be open-minded to certain things just because I'm goth. And like the list just goes on and on. It's like super duper ridiculous because it's like, they wouldn't try to limit other people. So it's like, why are they only limiting you to just what they see? It just doesn't make sense to me at all.
Yeah. We get that too as bitches. We get that too. They're like, you're what? You're too nice. You're too nice. It's like, well, am I supposed to be mean or what?
It goes back to the weird general stereotype with the satanic panic, where when people find something they don't like and they don't understand, they think that we're like these crazy, horrible people that are like sacrificing animals in the woods. And it's like, what like, that was Hollywood in the 80s that put this portrayal on, and it's like, can we move past the satanic panic, please?
Yeah. How about you, Nat, before we go to a commercial break?
I was going to say I've been lucky enough not to, but Danny just reminded me when she mentioned high school. I was basically blinded in high school because of being goth. Basically just got pelted with snowballs, and where my school was, there was like twigs and gravel and everything in it, and it just hit me square in the eyes. And just don't know what happened, but like afterwards I was like blind for several hours.
Oh no.
That's terrible. I mean, if you don't understand something, audience, you need to confront the person and have them explain about themselves, because we can't judge. There's too much judging already, too much hate. We have to just confront our fears of something different and accept it, because look at these guys. Do they look like they're mean or harmful to you? No, they don't. They're just like any one of you guys. Okay, so we can go for a commercial break. And we'll be back here in about 1 minute, so don't go away.
Today's Witch Magazine, brought to you by Covered Bridge Press, LLC. Imagine a world where every month you're greeted with a 50-page print magazine packed with high-quality graphics specifically tailored for the pagan community. Today's Witch Magazine is your gateway to a universe of insights, inspiration, and enlightenment. Whether you're a seasoned practitioner or just beginning your journey, this magazine supports all pagan traditions and levels of experience. Each issue is a treasure trove of interviews with luminaries like Oberon Zell, educational materials, and thought-provoking articles. Subscribers rave about the knowledge they gain and the vibrant community they join. But the magic doesn't stop there. Other publications include their Travel Guide for Pagans, featuring over 309 stores across the states, updated yearly to keep your spiritual travels seamless. And for those who love a mental challenge, their Pagan Puzzle book offers 63 engaging puzzles and 13 coloring pages, perfect as an educational tool or just for fun. Today's Witch magazine invites you to become part of this growing community. With affordable advertising options, you can share your event or business with a vibrant audience. Their commitment to ethical values and fact-checking ensures you're getting quality content every time. So, what are you waiting for? Visit todayswitch.net now to subscribe and explore advertising opportunities. Let Today's Witch magazine be your monthly companion in the magical world of paganism.
Welcome back, everyone. Hey, we did it, Nick. We got that ad. Today's Witch is a magazine that within the Cauldron, our podcast and our Facebook group, that Nico and I's family runs. We are having a half-page ad into the magazine, and so we want to give back to the magazine and advertise for them too as well. So, and it worked. I did something right for a change. Okay. What does the darkness in the goth culture represents to you?
Oh.
Who wants to go first?
Well, James, you spoke up first. You go.
Okay. What does it mean to me? Well, I do enjoy being out in the nighttime. Don't care much for the sun. It tends to overheat me. Yeah, I appreciate the nighttime. I appreciate the color aspect of it, of course.
Cool. I like the nightlife. I should be probably a vampire, maybe. I was always hoping I was a kid. Please come and make me a vampire. And then I realized that they can't make you a vampire. I was like, oh. But I still like the nightlife.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not how it works with the vampire thing. Yep.
That's true. That's true. How about you, Nat?
For me, it's like the unusual and the macabre.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's still kind of being like, kind of quite like, oh my god, look at this, but it's like skeletons or things like this. Like, my town has like almost like a Comic-Con, but it's more horror themed.
Mm-hmm.
So someone was selling different like bones that they foraged. And I'm like, oh, do I go with this one or this one? And I'm like, oh, this one's got like birds and rabbits like they found and that. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. I was like, I'll get that one. And it's like a lot of other people look at that and go, like, that's weird, but it's like the people there understand it kind of thing.
Oh my god, yeah. I have a friend that loves to collect bones. Does weird taxidermy with them.
Yeah.
Nico likes to collect anything that's scary and creepy and deadly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've loved horror and the massacre since I was a little kid, and I just really never grew out of it. Where I started watching horror movies probably at like 8 or 9, and fell in love with them, and the dark, romanticized, like 80s punk shows, and now here I am with bones all over my house and haunted dolls and
Oh, don't talk about that haunted doll. I have to tell you a story about that much later.
oh, and my husband painted his office floor to ceiling black. So there's a room in my house that is literally, I call it the void. It's his office. He's full goth. There is not a single speck of color in this room that is not a living plant. So everything blends together. and it is the most, well, I love it, is the most disorienting room to be in because I feel like everything is 3 inches away from me.
I think I would love the void.
Oh, he does.
I know. I would
He
too. I
does.
would too. How about you, Nat? Or no, Danny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You forgot about me. No, I'm kidding.
No, never, never.
So I think what like the darkness and goth means to me is just this ability to make peace with I guess like the dark side of yourself, things that you can't see, the unknown, like you're just embracing it, essentially.
Cool.
Nick, you said you were surrounded by bones. I'm surrounded by, in my bedroom, it's model hearses.
I
But
love
that.
it's not just bones. I've got like ghosts. There's some ghosts
Oh, yeah.
behind me. I don't know if you can see. I've got a skeleton up there as well. Lots of plants. What else I've got?
Again, animal bones.
Coffins as well.
Yeah, animal bones, coffins. I have Victorian porcelain dolls, urns.
Ooh.
I've got cryptid sketches off of my walls and all kinds of occult symbols and things hung up, and like that. My entire house is like that, and it's absolutely hilarious when I have people come over and like they kind of have this idea that like I'm goth, but then they come into my house and then they start looking around and then you can just see them like scan the room and they're just like, where the hell am I? And I need an adult. And it's like, don't worry, I'm not a serial killer. I'm not a serial killer. I just like bones. I don't have people bones. Don't worry, we're fine. They're very expensive.
I hope this doesn't sound too weird, but I need to see pictures of your room.
Oh, I'll post some in in the group.
Oh yeah, speaking of the group, what is going to cross the bottom of the page is a Facebook group that all of us are in. It's a goth group, vampires, witches, pagans, dark souls. So if you classify yourself as one of them, join the group, please, because it's a small group and we are trying to make it grow. So please do that. Okay, I'm sorry. Next question. I guess, is that yours or mine? I think it's you, Nick, isn't it, or mine?
We should be number 9, right?
No, 8.
8.
That's you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Number
you.
8. How do you feel about the association of the goth community with themes like death and the supernatural? Well, we kind of covered that.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's pretty closely connected.
It's kind
Part of the culture is the appreciation of death
Yeah.
in order to enjoy life.
Yep.
Yeah, we did cover that. Well, I just do the next one then. Do you believe there are any core values that unite with the goth community? Anyone?
Yes. I think, well, LGBTQ definitely ties into it. And just the value of, human life. Everybody's important.
I agree with that. I don't think there's like any overarching dogma in the community, but that there is a level of respect for ostracized communities, and that's kind of just a null point that's not negotiable.
Cool. Anybody else? No? I guess you said it all, James.
Okay.
I was going to say something, but I completely forgot. Like I blanked out.
Well, if you remember it, just bring it back around.
Okay, gotcha.
It's okay. I blanked out a couple times on some questions.
Our next question is, how do you balance your goth identity with other aspects of your life? I guess it's asking, like, are you goth? Like, do you fully invest in the lifestyle? Goth is that like goth business attire, so on and so forth. So for me, um, in jobs that I am forced to wear a uniform, I will still accessorize as appropriate. Like obviously, like I have piercings, and um, if I can wear bracelets, jewelry, things like that, I absolutely will. But like my husband does not have a uniform, and 100% like you get what you get. It doesn't matter if it's a wedding, a funeral, whatever. He is wearing black. Period.
Yes, for me too. Goth 24/7. Big part of it, of course, is the mindset, and I'm always in that mindset. In regards to the clothing, I'm pretty much always wearing black, with graphic tees.
Mm.
When I'm at work, of course, like you said earlier, Nick, with the uniform thing. Of course, I have to wear a work shirt, but I can wear my black jeans. I can wear my shoes. I can wear my chain. Piercings are okay at my job, fortunately. So
That's
I'm
good.
always doing it.
Mm.
That is good.
Hey, kitty.
Yeah, I've pretty much been the same. My works have been pretty fine with like whatever you're wearing, so I've just been able to dress myself. The only thing is like with friends and that, they're kind of more like your dance music and everything. So it's
Mhm.
like I kind of toned down my music a bit, just so it's like not freaking them out kind of thing. So it's like more finding kind of like metal songs that they can enjoy as well, or things like this, rather than more into the goth kind of side of it.
Cool. Danny?
For me, I'd say it's my tattoos that do it. Like, I can't really, I guess, like deviate from the uniform that I wear too much. Like, I can't really wear jewelry or anything like that. So that's just like I bring with me to work, and it makes me proud whenever it's warm enough to show them off, of course. And then like I technically could wear makeup if I wanted to, but I don't typically risk that because I feel like if I did do that, they probably would say something about that. And then my boots, like I can wear those to work, and that makes me perfectly happy as well.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Um, what are some common stereotypes about goths that you feel are inaccurate?
That we want to kill everybody. Terribly inaccurate.
Yeah. School shooter. All goths are Satanists and devil worshippers. None of those. I mean, there may be Satanists that are goths, but watch our previous video on Satanists to see what those are really about. But
The
like,
darker sides of the path, yeah. Good
like
watch.
we're not like we're not homicidal maniacs. Like, my husband was in the military, and his radio call that they gave him was school shooter actual because he's goth,
Mm.
and it really messed up. But that they threw that stereotype on him.
Yeah, that's screwed up. It kind of makes me think that, yeah, unfortunately, I was in high school right around the time Columbine happened. And I was a kid that wore trench coat too at the same time.
Mhm.
And after Columbine happened, I still continued to wear my trench coat despite that, and just being myself like I had already been doing. And unfortunately, some assholes turned in my name to the principal's office saying I was going to shoot up the school, which was totally untrue.
Mm.
And they went through my book bag, they went through everything, they went through my poetry. It was terrible.
Yep.
Hmm. Yeah, that's. How about you ladies?
I forgot the question.
What stereotypes do you think are inaccurate within the goth community?
I think the stereotype of like we're all miserable or depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think this this chat's proved that wrong straight away. Like I'm one of the happiest people I think I know.
Yeah.
Like today I was in shopping and that and listening to music and I'm like, you know, like hitting like the trolley and that, just like finding that, and it's like everyone else is just kind of. Whereas it's like.
Oh yeah. Like I'll be blaring like Pink Pony Club with my husband in the car, and we're just like jamming
I
out.
love this song.
And
I've got
like
that on my playlist.
the just pull up and you see these two dudes dressed in black, and you hear that pulling out of the car. Fantastic.
I love that.
Oh my gosh. Now I'm gonna have that song in my head again. I just got it in my head because of the Grammys, you know. And then now you said something, I'm gonna sing it now. It's a good song. Oh. And Danny, I think we're to you, dear.
Oh goodness, like now I think I'm blanking out again. But that's so terrible.
okay.
I think one of the stereotypes that I caught on to was that that we dress the way we do and we act the way we do, listen to what we do for attention.
Or that because
Like
they
that's
think that,
definitely a
yep, our parents were horrible to us or something, and it's like, no,
yeah.
like my upbringing had absolutely nothing to do with my fashion choices.
Very true. Very true.
Like our parents love us. Like it's all like my husband's family. Like they're all a bunch of bikers and goths. Like everybody dresses like that, which was absolutely like it was weird for me at first because to have like multiple generations just rolling around in trench coats with occult symbols and like the whole blackout coming through a restaurant, it's absolutely hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, unfortunately, in my family, my parents are very conservative, so I'm kind of like the black sheep in my family, you know.
Mhm.
That's okay. Nico and my family, all of us are. So, but you know what? It's okay. We got each other, right,
Oh,
Nick?
I'm running out of things to shock my parents with. I've done it all about this point.
Yeah.
Give me a few days and I see what we can do for you to shock your parents. So what
Oh,
you
if
can
they,
do.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, our Darker Paths video might throw them for a little bit of a loop because, like, I don't think they knew that I worked with them.
I know. Yeah.
We'll see if they watch it. I don't know. I haven't heard anything from them on it.
Well,
But
I
it was
guess
I have a
we.
carefully curated image with my parents, but I also have a total transparency policy. I'm a grown man. If you ask me a question, I will give you exactly one chance to rescind your question before I tell you exactly what you have asked.
Yep.
So, my parents are absolutely like my mom's. My mom's rescinded a couple questions before because they came out before she processed what she was asking me. But I love it. It's a great policy to have.
I guess we got one more question here. What is the God culture important to you?
Super important to me.
Oh yeah, I think that as people that often come in feeling like that they're ostracized, like the black sheep of the community, that the goth community is family, and that's a huge thing for us. Is that it is a place that we feel safe and supported. And if you're not receiving that outside of the community, that the community will absolutely provide that for you.
Yeah. How about you, Danny? So you won't forget this time.
Yes, thank you.
We make you go.
So I definitely feel like the community is definitely very important. Like just like being part of it, whether it's like physically or online, and it's just very important. So that way, like nobody forgets like the genuine values, and we're all here to remind each other that we've got somebody to lean on, and that we're not alone at the end of the day, and that being different is nothing to be ashamed of.
Absolutely.
Be you. That's what I always tell everybody. Be yourself. Don't be no one else except for you.
Definitely.
Authentically.
Yes. Okay, Nat, how about you?
Just the same. Just having like-minded people. I just like the same kind of stuff as you.
Yeah. And we have a comment from Scott. I'm happy to be a black sheep in this house. Blessed be, yes. It's probably one of the best things to be is a black sheep.
Yeah.
So you have more fun. You bring yourself. That's
Yeah.
the best thing.
Oh,
You only
yeah.
got one life to live, folks. I mean, you might as well just live it up because once you get reincarnated, you're not going to probably remember this life. You may not. It might take you years to remember it. So just live it up. Your next lifetime, live it up too. Be you. So James, Danny, and Natalie, is there any other questions that we did not cover that you would like to cover?
I can't think of anything right now.
Okay. Ladies?
Anybody?
Not that I can think of.
I mean, that list was pretty thorough, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we Nico and I try our best to get things out there, get questions out there and everything. Let me see. Oh, Scott says something else here. Let me bring that up.
The hive won't assimilate me. Absolutely. I refuse to break myself into bite-sized pieces for somebody else's comfort. They can choke on the whole cake.
Yeah.
Yeah. My friend liked that.
There's sometimes I
She's
ask
over
myself,
there.
like, even if like I could be different, like, is that even possible at this rate? Like,
Oh,
even
yeah,
if it was, like, I can't.
I'm so far into vibing with myself. It's just like you get what you get and take it or leave it. Because at this point, I'm too old to care.
I know. Yep. That is true. Very true. I think Nico and I, we have in my whole family, I mean, we have a lots of diversity in friends. And I love it. I love our life. I love doing these podcasts to educate the audience about everything because it's just not just one life. It is every life, and let me see. Oh, James, I think this is for you, hon.
What's that? Oh,
James.
thank you, Mike and V. I appreciate that.
I decided to put that up there.
Yeah,
And
I had a few of my friends listening in tonight. Sorry.
that's great. Awesome. And Scott, Into the Cardin is a very supportive group. Yes, within the Cardin is a very supportive group. We support everybody.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're
Except for haters. Yeah. My husband says no haters.
We don't tolerate the drama. I don't tolerate the BS. We are fully supportive of all of the marginalized communities, and I, as one of the admins, will not stand to have it in our group. And I absolutely love our community, and that they make my job easier in the fact that the trash takes itself out.
Nico is the bad cop. I'm the good cop.
Yeah.
And my sister Rillo is also becoming like the bad cop too. She
Oh yeah.
stabs him. She's a badass.
There's only so much.
Yes.
There's a certain tolerance of BS that I can tolerate, and it just gets lower and lower. And like our community is not a place for hate of any sort. Like it's just not appropriate. It doesn't need to be there.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I'm sure that, like, Nico and I are witches, and I'm sure we can correspond on how you go through life to, being a goth and everybody judging you and hitting you and not even knowing you. That is probably the worst thing ever, is like, you don't know me, and you judge me because the way I dress, the things I do, and it's just so wrong. So wrong. But I guess with that being said, crickets. So I just want to thank Nat had to go, but thank you, Nat, Danny, and James for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys for your time. It's been
thank you.
Fantastic.
And I hope that we kind of put some light on the truth of the, hatred or anything, or the scariness, the fear. So, but I just want to say thank you very much. And for the audience, don't forget to subscribe.
Yep. Like, comment, subscribe. Find us on our Facebook page. Follow our goth page down here at the bottom as well. And see all of their wonderful faces.
Until next time, what we say for witches is blessed be. What do you guys say in goth terms? Just bye?
It depends on the subculture.
May the darkness be with you.
I mean, there's
I'll say ciao. Yeah. Being a French background.
Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you for everybody to joining us tonight, and have a blessing, many blessings, and a blessed evening. Goodbye, all.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Today's Witch Magazine, brought to you by Covered Bridge Press, LLC. Imagine a world where every month you're greeted with a 50-page print magazine packed with high-quality graphics specifically tailored for the pagan community. Today's Witch Magazine is your gateway to a universe of insights, inspiration, and enlightenment. Whether you're a seasoned practitioner or just beginning your journey, this magazine supports all pagan traditions and levels of experience. Each issue is a treasure trove of interviews with luminaries like Oberon Zell, educational materials, and thought-provoking articles. Subscribers rave about the knowledge they gain and the vibrant community they join. But the magic doesn't stop there. Other publications include their Travel Guide for Pagans, featuring over 309 stores across the states, updated yearly to keep your spiritual travels seamless. And for those who love a mental challenge, their Pagan Puzzle Book offers 63 engaging puzzles and 13 coloring pages, perfect as an educational tool or just for fun. Today's Witch Magazine invites you to become part of this growing community. With affordable advertising options, you can share your event or business with a vibrant audience. Their commitment to ethical values and fact-checking ensures you're getting quality content every time. So, what are you waiting for? Visit todayswitch.net now to subscribe and explore advertising opportunities. Let Today's Witch Magazine be your monthly companion in the magical world of paganism.